In order to help you guys summarize the different types of reactions, we have 5 types of reactions that we've learned. We're going to fill out this table. So the first one's synthesis. So in a synthesis, the reactants, there are going to be 2 reactants, and it could be any combination of elements or compounds. So you could have 2 elements, you could have 2 compounds, you could have an element and a compound, but you're going to have 2 reactants. Now the products, there's only going to be 1 product. That's the helpful hint also, 1 product. So as soon as you see a reaction that just has 1 product, you know it's going to be synthesis. And right in here, I'm just going to write an example synthesis reaction. SO3 plus H2O, so we have 2 reactants, produces H2SO4. So this is an example. That's our hint. Okay, the next kind, decomposition, it's going to be the opposite. The opposite of synthesis. So the way to recognize decomposition is there's only 1 reactant. That's what's going to go over here in our hint. Any reaction you see where there's just 1 reactant, it's going to be decomposition. You're going to have 2 products, and it can be elements or compounds. So I'm just going to write an example one right here. Magnesium carbonate can decompose into magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide. 1 reactant. All right, for single replacement, for the reactants, it's going to be a compound plus an element. And the product is going to be a compound plus an element. So remember, to recognize an element means only 1 kind of atom for an element. So maybe it's a metal and it's just aluminum, but it could be one of our diatomic elements like H2 or O2. Those are all, it's just 1 kind of atom here. These are all considered elements. And so our hint, we're just going to think, I'm just going to abbreviate compound plus an element. And then on the product side, I'm going to have a different compound and a different element. So my example single replacement reaction, magnesium plus copper sulfate produces copper plus magnesium sulfate. That's our hint. Here's our example reaction. For double replacement reaction, you're going to have a compound plus a compound. Both reactants are going to be compounds, and they're also both going to be aqueous. Products, I'm going to write it like this. Products, we're just going to have 2 compounds. So 2 compounds here, 2 compounds here. Up here was a compound and element. This is going to be 2 compounds, 2 compounds. So 2 compounds, and then on the product side, 2 compounds. That's our hint for double replacement. And so when I have an example one here, silver nitrate plus sodium chloride will produce silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. That's our example one for double replacement. For the last one is combustion. So descriptions of the reactants, you're going to have some compound with carbon and hydrogen, or carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, plus O2, oxygen gas, because you have to have oxygen gas for something to burn. So it'll be some compound with C's and H's or CH's and O's plus oxygen. The products are going to be carbon dioxide and water. And that's it. So that's what I'm going to use over here for our hint that the products are carbon dioxide and water. So any reaction you see that has carbon dioxide and water as the products, that's going to be a combustion reaction. So one example, this is methane gas plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water. So these are our 5 types of reactions and our hints to help us recognize our 5 types of reactions.